Hey, all you ghoulish gourmets. Sorry about the way my hair looks. It's just kind of sticking out everywhere. Trying to adjust this where it won't be so, but I'm sorry about how I look in any event, but I'm here to cook. Um, hopefully you guys and gals can bear with me as I do this. And just so you know, this is not hair underneath here. It's just the way my face looks because the rest of it is smoothed out. And evidently, StreamYard doesn't do this part under here. So I didn't want anybody to think I've got, 5 o'clock shadow underneath here. But anyways, I'm sorry that it looks that way and it looks like a bunch of irritated skin, but I was under the impression that it would smooth out all of your face. Evidently, it doesn't do it under here. So anyway, to get that out of the way, hey Blair. Blair says, "Woo, showtime." Yeah, I'm sorry I was a little bit late. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty. I may have to plug in this tablet. Um, at some point during this. This is not going to be a very long movie, Munchies, mainly because I have already fixed the popcorn balls in advance. Now, I have, I don't know what just happened here, but I lost my other camera. I have no idea what just happened there. Okay. Guys and gals, I'm gonna have to go check something because evidently something disconnected on my camera on my second camera. So let me just remove myself real quick here. I will be right back. So sorry. We are going to have one of these without technical difficulties. Hey, Foz, I'm gonna be right back. Well, evidently all my stuff went away. I don't know what has happened. All my little things down here went away. I'm going to go check on that and I'm going to plug this tablet in. That might be what the problem is. I have no idea what just happened. Alright, guys and gals, I am so sorry. Something has went wrong with my camo studio, and I think I lost everybody while I was fiddling around with it. So for the I'm sorry if I sound aggravated. I am, because I don't know what in the world is going on with stuff around here. I had things pretty well streamlined for these movie munchies, and I hadn't done one for a week or two, and I go to do this, and it connected to my phone for half a second, and then I looked down and noticed that everything was wiped out down here. So StreamYard had closed out and disconnected me in the back room. Uh, and so I guess for those of you that want me to have two cameras, I'm sorry, I'm not going to have two cameras today. I can't spend all afternoon fiddling with it to try to get it working. I don't know if I'm going to have to restart the computer or what's going on here. So I apologize. We're going to have to do this manually. Uh, I was going to have everything over here to the side, but all I can do, guys and gals, and I know some of you don't like that, uh, and it is easier to have a separate camera. However, today I can't do anything with it. So I'm not mad at anybody. It's just that as I'm doing this, if somebody comes in here and says, well, I don't like this because she ain't got a second camera, can somebody please explain to them that I spent 15 minutes or so trying to get the second camera fixed and it wasn't working. So I don't have a backup plan in place. So let's get to this anyway. So we have the popcorn balls. These are homemade popcorn. Can't talk. Popcorn balls that I made a little earlier today, so they would be all ready to go for this. Um, and you can use basically any popcorn ball recipe that you want. I actually have the recipe that I was using um, for the popcorn balls. I have that link to the popcorn ball recipe in the link for this stream. So, in the description part. So, if you're interested in using that recipe, you can. If you have another recipe for popcorn balls that is a tried and true recipe for you, then feel free to use that. Or uh, I guess it would work the same if you bought pre-made popcorn balls that you can get at the store. But I made these homemade. Took me about 10-15 minutes to make them, so it didn't take too awfully long to do that. So what else we have is I got these Wilton. They look like paintbrushes, but they're actually cake decorating brushes to use. So I'm going to be using this wide one here because I'm going to be doing a little bit of painting on it. That was real paint. What I also have is some Nameka silver edible cake paint. You can see that says edible on there. So we're not going to poison anybody by doing that. Okay. Uh, I also have some silver limno edible silver glitter, and you just spray it on there basically. So we're going to put the icing on first, and then we're going to spray this glitter on here. Okay. Something else that I've already taken the liberty of making with silver fondant is the blades. I've made two of these for the popcorn ball. I'm going to show y'all how to do. Now I have four pretty good sized popcorn balls, but I'm not going to keep going over the process over and over again. I'm going to show you how to do one. And then if somebody wants me to, because this was my own idea that I came up with, this was not somebody else's recipe idea in this case. I came up with this one on my own a few weeks ago. Um, but I have, uh, hopefully, I won't spill anything out of the refrigerator. I did get some uh, satin ice shiver fondant that's silver, and it has some edible glitter in it as well. Now, I have to give credit to TJ here because TJ mentioned, and I'd already gotten the fondant, or I probably would have went the way of getting this. He mentioned modeling chocolate. So you could try that. I would suggest getting the white chocolate, and of course, not the dark chocolate. And then you could get some silver food coloring, put that in there, and voila. TJ was mentioning that it would probably be quite a bit more firm to put on these. And I was like, yeah, I wish I had thought of that before. So I may try them again later using the modeling chocolate. Um, but for now, I'm going to use the silver fondant. I know that CK says fondant tastes nasty, but I'm only using it for the blades. So if you don't really like fondant, just take the blades off and give them to somebody that does like them, or you can throw them away. Uh, or you can use the modeling chocolate and see how that goes. Um, and I'm not very artistically inclined. So I have an old Phantasm sphere set from the UK. Hey, Dirk. Um, from the UK that I bought years and years ago. And I am going to clean this off, but this is what I used as the template for my blade. For those of you that can cut out a blade out of fondant, kudos. Me, I wouldn't trust myself, so I use this as my template because they were easy to pop off the sphere and everything. So I already have my blades made. You can smooth this out a little bit more if you want to. Uh, just get a little bit sprinkling of water on your fingers, and you can make these look even better because it's all the display, right? Okay, so I'm gonna lay my glitter stuff over here so it's easily accessible since I don't have my other camera right now. So what are we going to do first? We're going to paint on this popcorn ball with our edible silver paint. Okay. I told Steve it looked like spray paint on my when it got on my fingers, but no, thankfully it doesn't taste like spray paint. So I'm going to get a little bit here on my brush, see, and we're just going to kind of show you there. See how I'm just painting these, you don't have to like cover every square inch of it, but we're just trying to make these things look as silver as we can get them. Okay. Give you a chance to be artistic on it. You could probably even put this on the fondant if you wanted to make it a little more shining. I don't see why you couldn't. And before I even did any of this stuff to them, um, I tried one of the smaller ones. 'Cause I started out making them kinda small, and I was like, "Well, you know, they don't look as big as the Phantasm spheres," so the last ones I made a little bigger. I made about 9 of these. Like I said, I halved the recipe. So, I'm just gonna do a little painting. You can see where I painted some of this silver. Um, I may not sit here and or stand here and make y'all watch me as I paint this whole sphere here. But you kind of get the idea. And the thing is, after these popcorn balls cool and the glaze, that is on there, that makes it easier to paint on here with this edible paint. So, what do you think, Steve?
It's like a planet.
Wow. Steve says they look like a silver planet, so. I mean, this might be one that we don't necessarily have to have two cameras for, but I kind of thought instead of y'all having to look at my ugly mug the whole time, you could just watch me painting this. So, like I said, depending on how much edible silver paint you have, you can really get into the crevices and things like this. Since Steve said it looked like a planet, if you have a kid in school that's having to do a project, they could make edible planets. And you could paint them all different colors because I got 4 different colors of paint in this kit. So that would be something else you could do with it. And I realize too, I fully realize that these are not going to be completely smooth like the spheres in Phantasm. I get that, but I was trying to think of something edible that, you know, that was at least round, was sphere like. Right? So is this making anybody hungry for popcorn balls? And this isn't really made for popcorn balls. It's made to put on cakes. So if you like to decorate cakes, this could definitely be useful in your wheelhouse. Right? I apologize for saying, I don't know why he's barking, but maybe you ought to hear Steve say shut up to saying, I have no idea. That dog is the most anxiety ridden dog I've ever seen. Y'all may hear, remember when Steve yelled shut up on that video real loud? You may hear him getting that loud. So we've almost got this painted up pretty good. How's it looking, guys? That look nice? And y'all be sure to stop by for the Home for the Holidays watch along if you're so inclined at 7 p.m. Eastern time today. This is probably a little bit easier than some of my other projects that I've done. Some of them are a little more labor intensive than others. But what I was most proud of is the fact that I came up with this on my own instead of going by somebody else's recipe for their creation. And two, guys, I didn't research enough into this paint to find out if you leave it sitting, if it's going to dry eventually or if it's going to stay tacky. Right? So it may be one of those things where once you make it, I wouldn't suggest you making a whole bunch of them unless you're going to have people right there to eat them. Um, in which case, you'd probably make a whole bunch because if this stays tacky on here, then chances are, if you try to put it in a container or try to wrap it back up in the plastic wrap, like I had the popcorn balls in previously, um, a lot of your edible paint is going to come off. I think the next one of these, and hopefully, I will not have any technical difficulties with the next one. I'm planning on making Evil Dead Deadite nachos. I think that's going to be a fun one because you can go all out. And there is a mist edible paint that you can get too, but I think they were out of stock of it when I finally got ready to order this stuff from Amazon. Or you could go to your favorite, craft store or whatever that has cake decorating stuff, and you might be able to find this. I just didn't want to ask Steve to take me all over Louisville looking for silver cake paint and silver edible glitter. And we've about got this one painted up pretty good. I will tell you though, if you're going to make a lot of these, you might want to buy a big thing of this silver edible cake paint because it's taken quite a bit of it just to paint this one. I don't know. If you leave this set long enough, it may dry enough to be good. I'm getting a little bit on my fingers. Larry, it actually is relaxing to me too. It's almost like painting a picture or working on crafts or something like that. What do you think? I'm pretty good here. Okay, so I'm going to set that down real quick. Set my brush down. I do have wax paper down, which I would suggest so you can minimize on your cleanup. Steve ate all his ice cream. I got him Ben and Jerry's ice cream. And, he ate it all. I got him the peanut butter half baked. Okay, so I'm going to put the top on the rest of our silver edible paint here. And I'm going to see, this is going to be the real test to see if we can get, well, let's go ahead and put our glitter on here. And if you're doing these things, I would suggest that you get this pump version kind, because it's going to be a lot easier to just spray pump this stuff on to this popcorn ball that we have painted silver. Anyways, hi Boo, you say sorry I'm late to the party. I brought popcorn, but oh whoopsies. Got something on my screen there. Lord knows what it was. Um, all right. So we're gonna take our edible glitter here, and I'm going to try just kind of. You might want to hold this over the wax paper because it is kind of messy. Kind of comes puffing out there. This is just to add a little extra glitter and and just to make it a little bit shinier, right? Uh, I found it easier to set it down and then spray it with this stuff. Okay. Now, I'm gonna have to wipe my fingers off again because it's not quite dry on there. Now we're gonna put our blades on. Okay. However you decide to attach these blades is entirely up to you. I'm gonna see if they're gonna stay for me here. Okay. May be able to get them to stay. All right, guys and gals, what do you think? We have got our blades attached. We have painted this with silver edible cake paint, and we have also put on our silver edible glitter. We've sprayed a little bit of that on there. Um, so we've got about 5 people in here now. I'm just trying to make sure that my fondant blades are going to stay on there. And I'm going to try to add a picture of this and put it on my, trying to get this thing to set. There we go. Um, on the Deadites on Deck Facebook page. But I want to thank everybody for being in here, all 5 or so of you that we had in here today. I am sorry again for the lack of the extra camera. I got to figure out what's going on there. Um, but I I am proud of my first original movie Munchies. Uh, Basically, I mean, the only recipe I used was a recipe from the internet for popcorn balls. So the rest of it was entirely my creation. I was just putting a little more edible glitter on there. Um, I did notice that Blissful's not here. Maybe she wasn't sure when I was going to do this, and I was late. So, um, again, I want to thank you guys and gals for being in here as I navigated through this without the help of my haunted food cam today. And sorry if I was a little snippy at the beginning. I was just very aggravated that yet again I thought I had everything lined out and things decide to go awry on me. But unfortunately, that happens from time to time. But thanks for those of you that showed up today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you were able to learn how to make your own Phantasm sphere popcorn balls. And I'll be back tonight, hopefully, with a watch along for Home for the Holidays, the Jodie Foster directed film from 1995. Um, that will start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, barring any technical difficulties today or this evening. And thank you, guys and gals, for joining me. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.